and I can't change that as who he is as a person. I mean, that would be like me saying something to you in terms of who you are as a person. You understand? I mean, I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, but I hear what you're saying. But unless he's done something, it's not anything else that goes beyond that. So that's why I want you to get a chance to kind of see what the class is from that standpoint. I can't go from that angle with that.
I understand. No, but at this point, I just want to remove him from that class. If I can't remove him, then I have to remove him from school.
Well, that's an option for you. I can't.
No, I have to. If you're telling me that
that's
nothing
fine.
else I can do, then I agree.
Not from a personal standpoint, unless he's done something, and that's why I want to go and see if it's something else that he's done. Because at that point, the class he's in there learning.
Well, I mean, my wife told me that Idris came home and was upset, crying, and saying that the teacher poured water on him when he was asleep.
That's why I definitely want to let you see the class. We don't pour water on children and stuff like that.
But, no, I'm saying what he told his mother.
I got that.
Is that the same thing she told you?
Oh yeah, I was asleep.
Yeah.
I definitely want you to see, because we don't have that type school.
I hope not. I mean, I just can't believe.
You're basically saying because of the way he talks and stuff is not appropriate.
No. I have gay, homosexual, whatever in my family. There's no problem. I love all people, but you're not going to confuse my son.
Right.
We're not going to look at that as you a man and you talking like a woman. That's not normal. Not from where I grew up.
I got that, but I'm asking you from the other side around, what should I be able to do at that point? It's nothing I can do.
Change my preference. I don't want my son influenced by that.
So
it should be illegal for you to even have that influence over my son.
But it's not, and it's nothing I can do about that.
Well, we got to change that law.
Well,
that don't make no sense.
If I'm being fair to you at this point, this is not.
So if y'all have a haunted house in here, y'all gonna scare the kids.
We're talking about something totally different.
No, I'm asking. If y'all have a haunted house in here, and y'all have a party where y'all scaring the kids, it's okay to scare the kids without telling the parents?
We don't scare children, no.
If somebody, a big, strong man, act like a woman, that's scary.
But that's not what you're saying, correct? Go ahead. This is our assistant principal. Go ahead.
I'm just stepping out for a minute.
Okay.
I mean, I can imagine. Wow.
That's why I want to give you an opportunity.
That we just giving in like that.
That's why I say
go down. Kids be exposed to something like that.
I mean, the kids are exposed to all that through Atlanta. That's a part of society. So what we're saying to you is unless.
Right.
I mean, and there you have the opportunity. That part does come in when you vote and all that stuff. And I share that from that standpoint because legally, there's nothing I can do about that. If you had told me that he has done something else, I could say, okay, well, yeah. But then if you're telling me, okay, that's why I said let's go down and let you get a chance to see what's going on in the class, because what you're doing is saying, okay, these things are happening.
No, that would be unfair to him. I wouldn't. If he's mentally ill,
He's not mentally ill. He's actually a pretty good teacher.
Well, if he's not mentally ill and he's acting like a woman and he's a man, then I don't want to offend him. I don't want to offend him. I'm not that type of person.
Okay, I'll go and I'm going to share this with you. And it's a thought. I want you to think about it from this perspective. You, him, and me, we walk around all over Atlanta. Anywhere in the South, we're going to get judged, right? Mm-hmm. What's the difference in what you're doing right there or what they would do there if they say, he shouldn't be able to roll through here. He don't belong here.
You can change your attitude. You can change your act. He can't change.
No, think about that.
He don't want to change.
But that's him. I can't go and make him change as a person. You can't. If I grew up in a small town. Which I had a picture of. I grew up in a small town. Ain't but 10% of us in there. Played ball, went back just the other day. Been gone for about 30 years now, but my parents still there. Young folk don't really know me because I've been gone so long. I get pulled over. You from these parts? Actually, yeah. Now, why did I get pulled over? You know why.
You just can't come most likely.
So from that standpoint, was that right for them to do that? No, it's not. But he was like, well, it didn't look like you were from these parts. I've been here longer than you've been living.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my family has been here. My family probably taught your parents. But it doesn't mean, so from that standpoint, that's why I share that from you from that standpoint. Now, I understand what you're saying. I understand where your concern is.
So why people can't come in here and wear their pants sagged and act like a ghetto African American? Why we can't be like where we
So which one do you want? You want them to, the child to grow, or do you want them to be able to just do whatever they want to do?
That's what you just told me. You can do whatever you want to do.
No, I said I can't change him as a person.
Right. What if I grew up with my pants sagging, certain type of style?
I can ask
You're gonna correct me. You're gonna say no, that's not right.
Right, because your pants is
It's not right to be. It's not right to be. I've had experiences with my own family members call me up on the phone and forget to change their act. They forget to change their voice.
For you, it's an act. For them, it may be real. I'm just saying.
But that's a problem.
But that's not anything that I can control. You can't control that. Now you can control. You know, this is a place you got to pull your
school. We pay taxes. Like you said, we got to vote on it. But why defend it?
I'm not defending it. I'm just telling you that it's nothing that he's done. That's not a defense.
He didn't do anything. I didn't say that, but I'm saying that.
You're saying you want him out the class because you feel that he's acting a certain way, right?
Because I don't want my son to be influenced by say a thug. I don't want my son influenced by a thug teacher.
What do you recommend doing other than that? Because that's not an option.
Can you move him to a different class?
The other teacher's the same exact way.
What?
Just okay.
You just go to the class.
I'm sorry. I gotta take my son out of school. I can't leave him in there.
That's your choice. Now that is your choice.
So I'm gonna beat my child because of this man telling him what to do. And
he's telling him what to do in the class.
Let's go see him. I want to see if he pour water on my son.
Are you Mr. Robert?
Yes. When I was a kid, I grew up in Brunswick, Georgia, in Philadelphia, back and forth. But when I was in school,
you went to Glen Academy of Brunswick.
Man, I didn't even get to high school, but I went to Altown.
I share that with you because my people are from down that way.
Okay.
Or some of my old roommates' people.
Man, that's my hometown.
So think about what happened down there with the fella that was jogging and what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Yeah. Well, this was my concern for my son. You know, I don't know about homosexuality. I don't know about the mentality of it, or I don't know about the sickness. I don't know. I feel for anybody who has to go through it because it makes you different. But when I was young, coming up, it wasn't okay for a teacher or a role model to portray as a homosexual because, or talk like it or act like it, because those actions can be controlled. Those not involuntary actions. So what shocked me, I called you up. I swear by God, I thought you was a woman. And that's no offense to anybody. But I'm talking to you, I'm talking to just my son. And I don't believe in putting certain influences on my son too early, especially as a young kid. All right, so I'm talking to you, and I asked my wife. I said, what about the lady, the teacher? And I was mad. I was like, what disrespect? And I'm still upset from disrespecting the teacher at all. But Come to find out, she said that's a man teacher. And Idris, rightfully so, had issues with you before because he's confused. Because I straight up teach him with a man sound. That's what I was told. It's just about society. Forgive us for being society. That's what we was raised to think. A woman talking a certain way, a man talking a certain way. So when she told me about that, I said, all right, well, I need to go out there. And I got scared because I have personal relatives who change their voice like that when they want, and they scare me. So I come up here and principle everybody, and everybody says okay. So I said, all right, I understand. I hear news, it's legal and everything. But anyway, not to try to change anything or try to upset you or anything. But
Living at
do you do it that way? Do I have a valid point? Do you think it's something you can control and act like a male when you're dealing with little children, especially children that's growing and learning? Is that a problem? Because not just for you, but I'm speaking for all of the community. Is that a problem with being who you are in your heart?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I think
Where's
I need
Taylor?
one too.
Where's Taylor?
I'm unsure.
But I 1 second, I'm letting Taylor cover the class. We'll go to my office and look at it. All of us.
You understand?
We'll just wait to speak.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're gonna let Miss Taylor cover your class and we're gonna go to my office and chat.
okay.
Yes, how may I help you, Dr. D?
If you can cover Mr. Hughes' class for a moment,
Okay.
we're gonna just go meet with Dad.
Oh, nice to see you again, Dad.
Thank you.
How's it going?
All right, I'm sorry. I'm shaking.
Okay.
Yes,
How y'all doing?
Thank you.
I'm happy to see you.
I'll let you know how I'm doing after this meeting.
Okay.
Before we go too much further, I'll let you finish up what you were saying. I did that because I don't think that's always an appropriate place for that conversation. I'm gonna share this with you. I do applaud you being strong enough to share your conviction, to share what your thoughts are. I'm gonna ask you this before we go any further. Did you see anything in the class that looked like what your son described in terms of the water and the different type things? And that's every day.
I was going to ask him that next, but yeah, the crowd, the class was very relaxed, happy class from what I see.
And I'm glad you used that term. That's actually our theme, a happy place, children first.
Yeah.
And
I even look
I'm
at
gonna
my
let you
son,
finish.
and he don't look
At all distress.
distressed.
Go ahead and finish up what you were saying.
But if you get what I'm saying, I just wanted to know. And also, number two is, my wife told me that Idris complained that he was sleeping and you poured water on him to wake him up.
Yes.
Now, I'm not no teachers can do whatever they need to do. I mean, I'm not a, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta yell at them, sometimes you gotta be mean, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But my only thing is pretending to be or acting to be or even feeling like you need to be a woman. That's fine. That's fine if you're gonna do that behind closed doors. But not influencing the children, because if they grow up to want to be like that, that's fine. But not forced to be like that. And when I say forced is most gay people in my family became gay because of their big brother or their stepfather or their father. Something that influenced. It's not something that was they woke up and said that's what they wanted to be. And if they did, they say we don't want to be like this because it hurts too much. Nobody wants to go against society this way. I'm Muslim, and it hurts being Muslim. I lost a lot of family members being different. So, I think it ain't fair for our kids to be influenced by someone that's so different. As far as me, that's how I feel. It's different. It's not normal. It's not. I ain't gonna say normal. Let's use another word. It's different. It's not stereotypical.
If I'm gonna give you a chance, Mr. Hughes, to share your thoughts. And I'm gonna give you my thinking on all this. Okay.
Okay.
I do, again, like I say, I do applaud you for being able to say your truth. I think it's only fair that I give Mr. Hughes an opportunity to say his truth, and then I'll give you what my thoughts are about the whole thing. And we'll go from there.
Okay, so yes, I also just want to reiterate what you said. So yeah, I do understand how you feel and your religion. Also, I just want to take into play that Idris has been in my class for a while now. He's not a new student. So, and today is what, March 24th. So this is my first time meeting you. So I feel like there's a problem right there because I feel like you're coming down on me very hard. And your son has been in my classroom for a while. So if there are any issues about my sexual preference, my sexuality, that should have been brought up from the beginning. Because I feel that as parents and a relationship should have been established when you enrolled your students into the new school. So that way, if you didn't like me from the beginning, this problem or situation could have been nipped in the bud. So I feel like that was lacking on your part. Also, I feel like my sexual preference or what I do outside of school does not influence Idris, because right now he should even be thinking about sex. He should be thinking about learning, and that's my main concern. Not one time did you mention me trying to teach him, trying to make him a better person behaviorally and things of that nature. You all just talked about my sexuality. And that don't even, I don't even bring that up. Now, I act the way I act, or I talk the way I talk. Yeah, that's me. But what I like to do and who I like to do is not brought up, and I don't associate that with my kids. So for you to just paint that picture as just me being a bad teacher, a bad person, I don't like that. But going forward, I would like for him to be removed from my classes. I noticed that this is an issue, knowing that you don't like the influence or my presence around your son. After today, I would like for him to be removed. And that's just the end of it. I won't have any contact or any relation with your children, and won't have any more problems going forward.
We'll sit down, Ms. Jenkins and I'll sit down and talk about that. We don't move children like that, but we'll sit down and talk about it. Now I'm gonna share my thoughts. Ironically, he's from Brunswick. We saw the whole thing played out with that young man. The whole situation, and it was based off of some of the things, and even though it's a different situation, but the same context, because basically what they're saying, you were black, couldn't run through my neighborhood.
I wish I was a little younger. I could probably tell you who them and who they family, because I knew everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, well, like I told you, my Clark family, that's who my buddy JC, Jerome Clark, his dad taught and stuff down there, and you probably know him, Alan Clark. But needless, that's irrelevant. The point is, that goes into the thing of that judgment piece, and that's the piece that I share. Prior to this, you really didn't know anything about the class because probably everything was going fine. As a person, people are going to be different, and I share that with you. You just shared another thing. I'm Muslim. You know the whole world about what Muslim is in America now. All the things you just described. Now, those things are not fair. Does that mean, and the same things have been said, I don't want them to influence my child by being around them. Muslim. And Truth of it is, you got many arguments. It is a much better situation than some of those that practice Christianity. But you're saying that I don't want them because they're going to do these things. Same difference from that standpoint, I do believe. So from there, that's one of the things that I say that commend you for being able to speak up your truth, because you could have backed off and just not said anything. And I stand up strong for Mr. Hughes. That's why I took you down, because I want you to be able to see the man teaches. He is a teacher.
I can see sincere. I mean, I can respect that.
And that's the main piece. The other piece is, I do believe that there's a part where I think all of us grow from this. And I think you see, because you get a chance to see, that ain't all true on the next one when you talk about it. Now, because he said that, what he said, I think I owe him that to go ahead and figure out how to actually make this request. I will share with you, it's not because of what your request is. It will be from the fact that I don't want to be in that situation from him. But I want you, I ask you as 4 men in this room, one young man who looks like he's, what, mid 14, 15? So 12.
He getting big. He's tall.
I want you to understand it and hear from this perspective that this is what it is that we're moving, because what we're doing is trying to help our children to understand that it doesn't matter about any of that. Those are personal things.
Yeah, I agree, but only thing when you start talking like a woman, you start dressing like a woman, you start acting out the deed. That's the only thing I'm talking about. Because I mean, what you do behind personal. I mean, some gay people are the most beautiful people in the world. I'll tell you, but the action that they're doing is not.
Has Idris done any of that? I'm asking, has Idris done any of those things?
No, but the problem is he's got an attitude and he's not performing in school properly. And when I talk to my wife, see, I try to let my wife deal with the kids as much as I can. But when they keep coming back to me telling me you just have a problem with the teacher, I'm concerned. And then I blew it off too long. And this time I woke up and I actually talked to her. And then I thought it was a woman. And then I hung up and I talked to my wife again. And why is the correlation between why I asked my son what is his problem? And that's mainly his problem. Is it my fault for teaching him that a man is a man, a woman is a woman, we act like certain things? Or is a problem with that teacher?
I think the bigger problem is Idris isn't the one to do the work. I don't honestly think he really thinks anyway.
I wouldn't doubt that, but I'm still, I can't go by what I think. I'm telling you what he's telling me.
Right.
So that's why I come up to talk to him.
And that's fair. And that's a piece too where I wanted you to get a chance to be involved to teach, because what we want to do is correct that problem.
But I'm telling you, and plus I'm religious, and maybe y'all don't understand, but I believe in a spiritual world, and I believe that the spirits that are in us, we act different ways. And just like these rappers and these singers and stuff, they say they get into the spirit and they feel this. That's real. They just don't know how to identify it. And they need to be able to understand and identify it. So that spirit of talking like that, and I swear I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings, but talking like that is not normal. That's an evil thing.